Hello, I'm coming on today to talk about spirals in this exploration of non-duality. It's something that's come up a few times in the last week with clients, and I thought it was something that was worth sharing with more people. So this is about the shift that we seem to make when we go from going round and round and round in circles, literally, like we've all had that experience, haven't we, of going round and round in our own heads with the same story over and over again. And then the shift that seems to happen when the story starts to look less enamoring, convincing, compelling. And in my experience, and something Sara Priestley and I have written about in our new book, which is coming out before Christmas, is this kind of spiral experience with it. So you're going to use your imagination as I talk about this, because I haven't got a visual yet that might be coming. I haven't got a visual to share on this yet, but imagine over here we've got a belief story going round and round. So we keep having the same belief and the same experience over and over again. Oh, every time I get into a relationship, this kind of thing happens. Every time I get a new job, it ends up feeling like this. Every time I think I'm going to make it, it goes wrong, or somebody scams me, or every time I'm in a social media community or social media generally, somebody trolls me, or my privacy gets leaked, or whatever the thing is, we've kind of had this repeating experience over and over again. And at some point, and this has already happened for you, this isn't something special, this isn't something you need to learn how to do. What's already happened is that at some point, that belief has dropped in some way, or the discomfort of going round and round like that so many times has become so great, it's far outweighed staying in that familiar circle, that you've leapt across to this spiral. We could call it the spiral of enlightenment, where as you make that leap from the round and round and round into the spiral, it's like that leap happens because that point has been reached. It's like, oh, enough already. I'm done with this. The suffering is too great with this repeating pattern. I want something different. I don't want this anymore. And so we come to this spiral experience. So now if you imagine this upward spiral, which is getting smaller and smaller and smaller as it gets to the top. And in my experience, and I know that others have talked about this as well, is that when we're in this spiral, it then means that we've already made a leap. We've already made a shift out of the belief that this is all that's available. There's already been an opening in us that has said, I think there's another option. I think there's another possibility. I think there's another way. I think there's another solution. Any of these, I don't think this is who I am. From the most superficial to the most fundamental questions, there's a question in there. There's something that has opened up in this leap across to the spiral. And so then as we reach the spiral, we start a journey of enlightenment with it. Now, sometimes that could be really quick. Sometimes it could be like we leap and we're like already here. Sometimes it's this gradual process of loosening and lightening the story of whatever it is that we've been believing. And so that means that what happens is we come into the spiral and we see whatever this situation is with a slightly different lens, a slightly different viewpoint. We see another possibility. We see another way of approaching this situation. And we go on and we live our life, and then, oh, it's come round again. But now, oh, there's something different seen. There's something more fresh. There's even more possibilities. There's even more freedom. And we live our life again. And then, oh, look, here it is again. This same kind of experience, but wow, it's so different than it was last time. I'm not having that same kind of physical response or that same kind of emotional response to it. And wow, look at all the possibilities that are now becoming available and open to me. Look at the new questions, look at the new ways of behaving, look at the new words that are coming in. And so we live our life again, and then, oh, look, here it is again. But again, it's like a whole new fresh experience of this seemingly same situation. And then potentially at the very, very top of the spiral, it's like the belief has entirely gone. There is zero veil, nothing is clouding the experience anymore. It's like we've reached that place of absolute neutrality, absolute clarity, absolute purity of experience, that now there's nothing, there's no egoic patterning, there's no personal thinking, there's no whatever else might we call it, personal mind. There's none of that. There's none of that in the way. And in my metaphor, it'd be the whirlpools. There's no whirlpools anymore when we reach this point. We're in that pure, clear space of just pure creation and pure alignment with the moment, purely intimate with the moment. So we've gone from here, we took a leap, something leapt us into this spiral. And then each time we've visited this experience, it's got easier and easier and easier, lighter and lighter and lighter, less and less triggering, less and less of an issue every single time, more and more freedom. So you can see that as the spiral gets smaller, the space increases. Makes sense, because as we go up through that spiral, there's less and less on our minds about it, and therefore there's more and more of the real you. And you are spacious, clear, infinitely creative possibilities. And so the less of the conditioning that's in the way as you go up the spiral, the more you becomes available. That's why it feels so good the further up we go, because there's more and more purity of clear expression of you coming through. So we can see how this works on this individual belief basis, but then it also works on the whole human experience. It's like on a life scale. Equally, we do this round and round and round for a certain amount of time, having collected the conditioning through our younger years. So we go round and round and round in our adult life, and then make a leap as an adult into the kind of exploration that guides us back to ourselves. And so at a whole life level, it has this same feeling of fewer and fewer beliefs, more and more space, more and more capacity, more and more of the real you, more and more pure expression and creation in the moment. And it feels better and better and better the further and further up you go of the spiral, the more the beliefs are enlightened from your experience. So that's what I've been seeing, and that's what's been resonating over the last week or so with clients I've been talking to. So I'd love to hear your experience. Does that resonate for you? Have you seen that as well? What doesn't resonate? What don't you connect with? What else would you add? What do you think would improve that metaphor, that image even more? I'd love to hear from you. Lots of love.